Greetings and welcome to another series of weekly devotionals where we take a look at one of the lectionary readings for this upcoming Sunday and offer some thoughts for reflection. We're in the season of Advent, and this week I'm going to share a few thoughts about just a couple of verses, few short verses in chapter 4 of Paul's letter to the Philippians. When I was a teenager, I remember making some plans with friends over a weekend or asking a girl out on a date and waiting for a call back, waiting for the phone to ring. Now, back when I was a teenager, we didn't have cell phones, so there was not instantaneous communication with people. You couldn't text or FaceTime or Instagram one another. You just had to wait we had a good old-fashioned rotary phone, and I had to sit there and just wait for the phone to ring. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of nights it didn't. But I remember, when a girl or a friend would call me back, how happy I was that I finally got that call back after such a miserable time of waiting. And I think the Philippians were going through something probably a lot more extreme back then. They're waiting for a message, waiting for a call from their preacher, their pastor, their founder, their leader, Paul. And of course, back in the ancient times in which they lived, communication was a lot more difficult. They had to communicate by delivering a written or oral message, in this case, a letter. And the problem is Paul is in Rome, and the Philippians are in Greece, and the Aegean Sea is between them. And so it's a lot more difficult to communicate and deliver that letter. And add to that the fact that a lot of these early Christian communities were going through periods of persecution and harassment. And of course, Paul is writing this letter from prison in Rome. So the odds of this letter getting through are not great. And you can imagine the Philippians sitting there waiting in distress and anxiety and just the angst of waiting for this message from their beloved leader to come through. And finally it does. It gets delivered. And what is the message that Paul delivers to them over and over again in this letter and in chapter 4, verse 4? Rejoice, rejoice in the Lord always, Paul writes to his community in Philippi. And we might think, well, it's difficult to rejoice when you have to wait. I know these last 2 years during this pandemic time, we've had to wait through what for all of us has been an unprecedented experience, and wait to be with people we love, wait to do things we've loved to do. And as we've gotten to do a few of those things again, I'm sure that most of us have felt the joy of being able to get back sort of into life. But it's difficult to sit and wait in difficult moments, in difficult times. And as we consider Paul's experience, we might wonder how he could exhort his community to rejoice, knowing what he was going through at the time. And so as we wait through this season of Advent, a season of waiting, one of the things that perhaps we might consider and reflect upon is what helps us to rejoice, what gives us joy as we wait in this most holy season. Amen.